Hello, welcome in. How is everyone doing? How is everyone? Today we're going to talk about the 2 books for the Stichwitch audio book club book that we have read in the past 2 months. So it is... Why is my camera not focusing? That's better. Hope it stays like that. So we have read the Vampire Knitting Club book 2 and 3, which the second book is Stitches and Witches, and the third book is Crochet and Cauldrons. What I plan to do, and I hope it works. So what I would like to try is that we talk about book 2, non-spoilery first. And then, go through the normal list, like atmosphere, characters, plot, as far as we can get without spoilers. Then move on to book 3, Crochet and Cauldrons. Do that all spoiler-free. Going through all the things. Then talk spoilers about book 2, Stitches and Witches, before we jump into spoilers for book 3, Crochet and Cauldrons. In that case, that if you only read the second book, you can actually, you can still watch most of the live show. I just hope it works. Coming. It feels like I need to sneeze, but it's not coming, so very interesting. I don't know. I hope it works. I think it's very hard to talk about the plot without spoilers. So obviously we are going to talk about, these are mystery books. A murder has happened somewhere. We're going to talk about where it happened, but we're not going to talk about who's killed, who has been the killer in the spoiler-free section, if that makes sense. But you will know where the murder has happened. And maybe a bit of how. Hello, Jess. Welcome in. How are you doing? Hello, Larissa. How are you feeling? Hello, I've just this minute finished Crochet Cauldrons. Well done. I finished it this morning. So I feel you. I've been wanting to read these books for immediately after. I kept telling myself I have to wait, and then I got distracted by all the other books I wanted to read. So almost forgot, and I started reading them Friday. I still, done this morning, so I'm very happy with that. I listened to both the same day, now forget what the second book was. Yeah. Yes, the tea shop is the second one. Yes. Also, happy solstice, everyone. Happy solstice to you. And it makes me very happy that the days are getting longer again. I've only managed to read all of book 2 and then about 50 pages of book 3. It's been a tough month for me. And that's absolutely fine. That's why we're going to try to do it spoiler-free. So that you can still see, 3/4 of this live show. You can still hang out with us. You can still talk about all the things you want to talk about in book 2. And then I can just warn you for the last part again. And then people can go out if they haven't read the third book fully yet. If that makes sense. But I don't think it's a spoiler. Because, if you have read half of the book in book 3, you kind of know the deal. I feel like. So, talking book 2 first, which is the Murder in the Tea Shop book. And it's the Stitches and Witches book, atmosphere-wise. I think this is my least favorite, atmosphere-wise, so far. First of all, the first one came in exactly the right moment, in exactly the right time for me. It was everything I needed in that time. And obviously, the whole sassiness and the dealing with the vampires and how the vampires interact with the modern world was new to me, and I really enjoyed that. I felt like in the Stitches and Witches book, we saw less of the characters. I'm not sure if that is true, but it felt like that for me. Or maybe it is that we didn't learn a lot more about the characters. More new stuff, which I would have wanted to. And then that most of that book is not being in the knit shop. It had less atmosphere for me. I feel like. I think from all the 3 books, that one is my least favorite. Which reminds me that I wanted to put up a poll immediately. Let's do it now. As we have agreed, I'm gonna put up a poll every single live show we talk about these books if you want to continue in this series. So we're doing that now. I'm not gonna give you a maybe. You just have to vote honestly if you would like to or not. What you prefer. If 50% or more want it, we're continuing with this one. If it's under 50%, I will continue so we can just make it a buddy read in the Discord and still talk about it. But we will pick another book for the Stichwitch live shows in next year. I've read both, but I finished the last one Monday, so everything is a bit hazy already. Yeah, figured. That is absolutely fine. This is the book where men start dying in the tea shop next door. Where we get a new, very shady character. A relationship I'm not a fan of, but I was not the only one that wasn't a fan of it. If that makes sense. That is a big part of the book. So that is the book we're talking about now. If that helps at all. I don't know. I agree, it was still fun, but not as much as for... Yeah, for me that was the case. However, I love the third book. So... I really like not as much as first book, but I like the mystery. Yes. And I did... You know, I obviously also really like the setting of a cute tea shop hosted by older ladies. I really enjoy that setting. But obviously, you know, when murder is involved, you're not getting the cute tea shop vibes. So I think that's why atmosphere was lacking a bit for me. And character-wise, if we're talking about characters, I did not like the new character. Obviously, you were not supposed to like them. And I really wanted to know more about the vampires. And I feel like we didn't get a lot of new stuff about the vampires, which was sad. I don't know, but maybe I'm remembering wrong, but I had a feeling that the vampires weren't that involved in the second book, but then I would have expected more witches. And that was also not the case in the second book, because that was in the third book. So the title is also a bit confusing for me. I like the second one less, yeah. Was it the second book when Lucy was like, hey, I don't know why murders keep happening around me, but I swear I'm not involved ever. yeah, I feel like that was the case, yes. But I'm not sure, because it was a third thing too, because she doesn't dare to put on a new notice anymore in the shop. So Also, anyone who listens to the audiobooks, I don't know what the narrator was doing, but that is not a New York accent. I forgot what book it was. Oh, yeah, I listen to the audiobook, but I don't pay attention to accents if I'm completely honest with you. So I don't know. You know, unless it's annoying me, then I do pay attention to accents, but only when it's annoying to me. Objectively, the books aren't the best written, but I still really like them, and I like that they are funny, easy read. Yeah, I 100% agree. That's why I gave the first book 5 stars. Absolutely loved it. It was exactly what I needed in that moment. Was obsessed with that book. Is it the best written book I've ever read? Absolutely not. Did I enjoy the hell out of it? Yes. Did it give me a good time? Yes. It was easy to read. And I just get sucked in the story and then I want to know. And because they're not that long, I get to know quite soon. So it's very satisfying and I just really enjoy it. So yeah, I would 100% continue this series. That's why I'm like, if you guys don't want to, that's fine. I'm going to do it. So we can make it a bunny read. Also, I would like that new scone thing she tried at the beginning. Yes. It has lemon and wasn't it raspberry? That they had. And lemon and raspberries is a very good combination. So yeah, I wouldn't have minded that either. Yeah, same. They're fun to listen to while I crochet, but they're kind of terrible, but also really fun. I don't know, hard to... Yeah. Like, when you read it, you know this is not the best book ever. But on the other hand, I know it's flawed. And if I try really hard, I can, probably name the flaws. But I didn't mind a second. Like, I am just, enjoying the ride, doing the book. Is it a bit easy or obvious sometimes? Yes. Does that matter? Not really. If I'm completely honest with you. I just enjoy knitting or crocheting while listening to knitting and crocheting vampires. If that makes sense. The food, yeah, that is the best part of this book. That is absolutely true. Yeah, that chat was good. And I like that, even though the old ladies did not like it at all, they did still finally try the new thing. And then everybody loved it. And then they decided, yeah, been there, done that. We're going back to the old menu. That was really funny. I keep thinking of that one reporter in the Princess Diary movies from Teen Vogue or whatever that's always describing everyone's outfit. Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure if I've ever seen that movie, if I'm honest. They're great to just grow up on the sofa and read it. Yeah. Right. I really want to get ahead in this project. Let's, log down, put my ass on the sofa, put the audiobook on, and just knit as much as I can. That's what they're really good at. Saying that, I do have brought my socks, so maybe I should use my fingers while we talk. So, just to quickly show you, because I finished the gift sock yesterday, I finished the last sock, during dinner. I was just finishing the door. I was like, I'm sorry, they're not done yet. I need to finish this 5 rows for you, so please look away while I'll fix this. So immediately after, I decided that it is time for my socks now. I really want socks. So the Wednesday bag was empty again. So I put the Wednesday sock yarn in that we got. And I really, really wanted to make socks with it. And then from Job, for my birthday, I got those Wednesday needle stoppers. So now I have Wednesday yarn in my Wednesday bag with Wednesday needle stoppers and also the stitch markers from the Wednesday Advent. So they're also Wednesday themed. I have the... You're not really working with me today, camera, are you? It's the window people. You have to believe me. It's the winner. It's repeatedly frustrating to see all these men after her when my dumbass knows who she ends up eating. Yeah, that's the funny thing. I have not spoiled myself, so I do not know who she ends up with. I would not mind seeing her going through a few. Like, I normally don't like romances, but I would not mind. Because I have a strong feeling that she's going to get with somebody, but I don't want her to. Not because I don't like it, but I think that would be a good match later on in life, if that makes sense. But I don't know, guys. This is me guessing. Like, this is not a spoiler because I honestly have no clue. I like seeing more of the tea shops. Yeah, they were so cute. I liked them so much, and I love that the whole drama in the tea shop came back in the third book, and we were dealing with it. I really enjoyed that part. I want that shopping street. It sounds absolutely perfect. Like all old little shops. And then there's a knitting shop with a tea shop next to it. I would immediately go, like, yes, please. That sounds perfect. And then they have the antique shop that does sound like fun. So I would not mind going to that shop. There's a whole shopping street. That's one of my comfort movies, Lou. I've seen it a million of times. Yeah, I think it's for a lot of people. But I kind of missed a lot of movies in that era. I don't know why. I have no clue why. Plot-wise, what can we say without spoiling stuff? I felt like when these aren't guessable, it means that Nancy just left out information and you're getting that information at the end. And not because they're extremely cleverly done, if that makes sense. Like, they're very enjoyable. And I don't mind if they're obviously, actually. But I didn't know for sure, and that was because information was simply left out. But I like the frequency we had to deal with it. The tea shop seems to have a lot of window seats too, which is key. Yeah. Yeah, I and all the older teapots, they keep talking about and stuff. And the old English cups. And I like those. I recently bought 6 of them again. I had more, but I lost them somehow. I don't know. Or I just can't find them right now because, half of my life is on the attic, probably. So I bought 6 new ones because I needed it for my princess dinner yesterday. But I like them. I like that. It makes me happy. It's a fun twist. We could all go and tell the lady who keeps giving her shit about putting up right? But then it's a small little supermarket, and I would love to see that too. So yeah, I really, really do like going there. I think it would be super cute. Oh, and I really enjoyed in this book that one of the characters was so extremely upset by all the Harry Potter fans coming to Christchurch. And she's kidding. We didn't have Harry Potter like 20 years ago. That was really funny to me. I really like the plot about the guy coming back from Miss Watt, having new characters. Yeah, I do think having new characters is very good. It also immediately makes them suspects. In a series like this, when we're getting new characters, they're always sus, right? Because that is just... It's not gonna be somebody from the Vampire Knitting Club. So... The second one I doubt myself. The third one I feel like I knew immediately. Yeah, same. The third one was very I think it's very guessable. But I felt like it's because we were given all the information there. And in the second book, we were just simply not given important information. So yeah, when you don't get it, you can't, you know, you don't have to work with it. That's the name. Now I forgot the name of the thing. I like the Grandma's Friend too, the movie star on. Oh, yes. Yeah, I like her. Yeah. But that's the thing. I like every single vampire. They're so interesting. They all have had their back lives, and I just want to know more about their lives when they were alive. And then what they did throughout the centuries. Also, the money aspect. And they're immediately like, oh, Granny, you need to do this. We will get you on, and you will be rich in no time. Like, don't worry. We got you. It was really cute. Like, you got decades now. Don't worry about money. We have time. You will fix it. Yeah, but you just did not get every connection. Like, you don't, so then you cannot make connections. Yeah. For the eye reader's narrator, that's terrible. Australian accent too. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. I just have fun. No comment there. I honestly, I think if you pay attention to that, it's going to be frustrating. And luckily, I don't know how these accents have to be. So that is helpful. I remember, like, when we got to the backstory, every third Twilight book, I read them as an adult, so I knew there were mad books, but I was like, oh, vampire backstory? Yeah. I want the vampire backstories. That's what I want. From all of them, actually. They're all so interesting. But I think this is what I can say about book 2 without getting in spoilers. So let's get ahead with book 3, but spoiler free. So, atmosphere-wise, this was more it for me. Obviously, a lot happened in the knitting shop again. So that is really interesting to me. The vampires were way more involved. So that really worked. And then I really did like the fact that the parents are coming back and that we see a bit of her relationship with her parents. And I do really enjoy the aspect of digging for artifacts in Egypt and stuff. So that is really interesting to me. Somehow that also feels cozy. I don't know why. Don't ask me why that is cozy to me. It is. So I felt in the third book we definitely had more cozy feelings again. We obviously got a whole new set of characters thanks to Mom and Dad who invited everyone on the loose. Which was also very funny to me. And the funny thing is that in this book there was more witchcraft involved. I really, really enjoyed that aspect. But I expected it in book 2. It didn't came. And then in the Crochet and Cauldrons book, there is a tiny, tiny bit of crochet, but not a lot. And there is a lot of witches. And then there was one scene with a cauldron. So these titles might not be the most appropriate. I get that you want, catchy titles with something knitting or crochet in them. But yeah, I don't know. I need books for all too. Absolutely. And I still kind of want. That's the thing. This is a very long series, and I kind of want them all physical because I'm pretty sure there are going to be recipes in every single one of them. And then I would like to try and make them But then I'm listening to this on audiobook because I love knitting and crocheting. So I'm not going to read them physically. So it's kind of a waste of money. Or it's a cost that I do not have to make, if that makes sense. Book 3 was my jam because Asian Egypt. Yeah, I really enjoyed that part. I really, really enjoyed it. And I think we obviously got a very interesting angle there. And I love that, the dad was talking with that angle about it. That makes it very, very interesting to me. I think that is so funnily done to get that perspective. If I then forgot love and dairy to me, yeah. Then I just... I have to remind them to entertain their people. Oh, yeah. Oh, they're here. All right, we're coming. That's what we did. Notice my crochet is the title, what you get right. And which is a bit sad because I was really excited that crochet would also be heavily involved in this series now. And I was really looking forward to it. But yeah, not as much. And book 2, I kept waiting for the witch potluck or whatever they were on about to happen, and no, it did not. It did not. No, and in book 3, they're still talking about it. So you might have to wait for a while. I do think it's going to happen eventually. Judith liked the rave one, right? Yeah, I like the rave one too. It's very interesting. It's the 0.5. And it makes a lot of sense. The way how they interact does make a lot of sense if you read that one. So I would recommend doing that. If you're a rave fan, that yeah. For real, Elena, I want to go to that. Oh, the Witch's Potluck. Yes, please. I'm getting them on Kindle. They're $4.99 each, which is reasonable. Yeah, that's absolutely reasonable. I kind of just want them as trophy books. If that makes sense. So I might just get the first one as the trophy book. And that one definitely has recipes. And I still want to do a video one day where I rank books or recommend books based on the recipes in them. That's all. But also like the narrator to say blessed be properly. Yeah, but the mode be and stuff, like a lot of it is like I've learned. So I feel like it is, yeah. It also might depend on where you grow up. I want to know if members are as good as crochet as they're knitting. I don't think so. And that's why I think it would be so funny. Imagine that, like, all these vampires, right? They're extremely well versed in knitting. And Lucy cannot knit for the life of her, even though she really, really wants to. What if Lucy picked up knitting, is great at it, is trying to learn the vampires, but and then she's better at crocheting than the vampires because they just can't get into it. They have to take time again to learn it. And then they might get frustrated because they're so good at knitting. So, I think that would be such a fun angle to make them a bit more even, to make them a bit more. Lucy has a right to have a yarn store because now she keeps saying that it's so weird that she has a yarn store while she can't knit. Whereas I was like, girl, you could also crochet, you know. That would maybe solve a lot of the problems. Yeah, my audiobook even started with the recipe in the first book. They didn't with the second and third, so I'm not sure if they have recipes or if they just did not do them in the audiobook, because that sometimes happens too. But the first book definitely has recipes in it. I'm glad they do so much. Yeah, I really like it. We're liking to bring up the rule of three. Yeah, I was waiting for that one too, but not yet. But I don't know how much the author is into research of the witch. Yeah, I don't know either. Like, the funny thing is, I know that this author can't really knit either. So she is on Lucy's side. And that is very funny to me. But with this book, I felt the atmosphere more. I just was really happy that the vampires were so much more involved. And I think it's really, really cute. They took shifts even during the day. And I really like Lucy trying to envision that, you know, how hard it should have been for the vampires over the decades, because now they have a lot of technology and stuff to hide them from the sun and protect them from the sun, because, you know, skin cancer, but they didn't have that all those centuries, so it should have been way harder for them than now. And I thought that was such a thoughtful thinking process. That's not how you say it, but you know what I mean. You say it in your head how I supposed to say it. I thought that was really fun, and I did, but I'm not sure if this is in the second or the third book, which is the one where we saw Rafe's house, because I really enjoyed that part too. I felt like we got to know him a bit better, and that's just very interesting to me. I really enjoyed the third book, and I'm not sure on the rating yet on both of them, to be honest with you, because I did not enjoy it as much as the first book, neither of them. But the first book was just right time in the right place, right? Like, yeah, that felt perfectly for me. But I just like the third a tiny bit less, so I'm gonna give it 5 stars again. I honestly would not expect more of this series, so I don't see a reason, you know. I could not explain why I would only give it 4 stars. And then the second book, is that going to be 3 or 4 stars? Because, you know, that one I did really like less than the other, so I would like to give it a lower star rating than the rest. But yeah, Crochet Coldles I liked a tiny bit less than the Vampire Knitting Club. The Vampire Knitting Club, the first one, is going to be an all-time favorite. I have such fond memories of that reading experience. The second book, I think. Oh, that is. I really enjoyed that from the second book too. The Interchangeable Art Gallery, yes, that was so much fun. I think that is so much fun. Yeah, I feel this. My reading is terrible, and not because I don't want to. I'm actually quite back into reading. I feel like I enjoy reading. But this week has been so busy that I couldn't even read a chapter a day for the Advent book. And then I just crammed those 2 audiobooks in while I was cooking and driving to work. And that's what saved me. So yeah, I feel it. That's also probably why I don't have a star rating yet. Because the brain is kind of fried. But I am curious, if you have rated the books, what did you give it? Just out of curiosity. Oh, really? Thank you. I love to see it. I'll go check after this live show. Project in this. I think this is a good point to go to spoilers for book 2. So we're just gonna talk about the spoilers for the Stitches and Witches. Anything about the Egypt themed book, we're not discussing spoilers for yet. So only for the Murder in the Tea Shop book, we're able to do spoilers now. Let me put the spoiler alert on. So if you haven't read the second book completely, this is your time to go off. Thank you so much for being here. Hope you come back when you did finish the book. And I would love to hear what you think in the comments. But we are now, let's go into spoiler territory. Because I think it's very hard to talk about these books without spoiling the murder mystery. I also like seeing Lucy's conflict, knowing she still needs her grandma, but also knowing she needs some time away. Just feels realistic and books full of unrealistic things. Yeah, I really enjoyed that part too. It's very, and then all the vampires trying to make them feel okay with separating for a bit, just because they know it's better, but then not pushing. Just bringing up the conversation so they can both vent what they need. But not trying to steer it too much, not just mental, not, I really think they're doing it in such a respectful way and making it work. Even though this isn't the best decision, they still make it work. And they obviously have to put more effort in to, keep Granny from going in the shop. So, yeah. For me, it's 2.5 for the second one, and the third that is nice, yeah. That is good. So everything from 3 on is enjoyable for me. So I hope that is for you too. I think a 3 for book 2 and a 4.5 for book 3. Yeah, that 4.5 would be the best rating, but I refuse to do half stars. So, but that I feel this. That feels, I think that is my actual rating. Tea shop spoilers. It's the tea shop murders that will spoil. So first of all, I like that we have two murders involved. I really enjoyed that. I was hoping that was gonna be the case, especially when we were talking about, maybe it's not the intended victim because the waitress was fudging up the orders. I was really hoping that, maybe we still get some. And then I really, really enjoyed the dynamic of, people not really mourning the first dude that died. And then the poison actually being intended for another fudgy dude. So we got rid of 2 of them by accident in the progress. I'm sorry, but that was quite funny to me. Because I feel like they could both have been murdered for the same reason. And now they accidentally were. But it was not intended. I get 4 stars because it's fun. Yeah, that makes absolute sense. I don't know if I rate any of them highly, but I will definitely read the whole series. Awful, but yeah. This is the hamburger book, isn't it, Jess? Sylvia's such a diva. I love her. And Theodore, the policeman, goes, he's so sweet. Yeah. Yeah, I think both of these were... I think Theodore was the first time we saw him, right? Because I could not remember him. But that was really fun. And then obviously Sylvia is a diva. I do wonder, because Granny seems so down to earth. What is it that these two connect on such a deep... Like, how did they... Obviously, they become besties because of knitting. But the characters are so different. How does it work? I'm very intrigued by that. This book and brain is a little snack for me. Yeah, absolutely. And that's why I love them. Yeah, that's why they work so well. You know all the character names. Thank you. Yeah, they're doing all the hard work. I can't believe Katie went back to Australia to support her murder boyfriend. And she was perfect. And she, I think honestly she just wanted to go home to Australia. She didn't seem happy in Oxford. But yeah, I would love to have had her in the knitting shop. That would be such a lovely addition to the crew, I guess. But yeah, it makes sense that she goes back to Australia. I just don't like it that it is for the murderer's boyfriend. I don't think that's necessary. So yeah, and I really found the moment very funny, where the old assistant Like, how can you hire that old assistant? Looking down on everybody that knits and crochet, how can you think that is a good idea to hire somebody like that in a knitting shop? I don't get it. So it was very, very funny to me that is when Granny came up, and that she had to magic the memories away, and obviously her finding that, her power is screwed because she was able to do it. It was a good way to get rid of that assistant because I did not like her. And Silas, who is never silent. That's all they do. But she tries so hard. It is so cute. And then all the vampires. That is the third book. Never mind. I'm gonna say it next. For real, what the fuck, Kate? Yeah. I don't get it. Yeah, I get that she wants to go back to Australia, but not. Yeah, that she did not want to come here or in England, so it makes sense that she goes back, but not for that reason. Feels like a good chance for her to drop him and start over in the yard. Yeah, that's how I felt it. That whole story arc was very weird to me. Yeah, and that's what I meant with, I think you could not be certain it was him, because obviously I found him sus. He was in my suspect pool. I thought he did it, and not the granny. I just really didn't want it to be the granny. But, like, us, you're not telling us that he's really dead. Or that they knew each other or came from the same region. So obviously we cannot make that connection. And that's why it's not completely guessable. And I felt like that is a bit of a cheat. I thought Katie and the cooking one would end up being Iris, secret family of the first guy who was killed. Then they mentioned Gerald had been to Australia, and I was like, oh, that's it then. Yeah. Yeah, but it was so, like, I don't know. It was so, I feel like we got the information so late. And after that, it was the reveal. Like, yeah, then obviously we do not have time to connect the dots. Like, one of my favorite co-workers at the salon was this loud, super fashionable blonde lady who watched Reddit TV, and in the last person you think I would love, but I did. Lol, I get grandma. So yeah, but that makes it very interesting to me because they're so different, and that usually works really well. But I just find that very interesting. Not to bring up it, but her assist is starting to get defense against the dark art teacher level. Yeah, like and she's feeling so bad having to go back to the board in the supermarket and ask for new assistants. And I get that. And that's why I would loved Katie to stay. And she was perfect for the job. So yeah, that was a bit sad. But overall, I did like how the murders were done. Like, I'm sorry, but from this series, I want a very stereotypical murder. And poison in a tea shop is very stereotypical. And I liked it. Like, that's what I wanted. That's great. And then I love that Ray was there. And he's like, well, he's very sick is an understatement. He just died. Because obviously he can smell. And then, yeah. No, it's not food poisoning. That would have smelled differently. He wouldn't die that soon. Just pulling out all the poison information there. Out of nowhere. And I did really like that. Lucy was framed. And something was put in her bag. And that's how she was getting more involved. And that's why she couldn't let go of that murder too. And I figured that makes sense. I would also have been invested after I would have been framed. She was brilliant. She could do so much sleuthing on her cigarette break. Yeah. The reveal of the second body was pretty gruesome. Yeah, me too. And I really liked that they were toying with maybe it was not for, he was not the intended victim. And then it took quite long for another victim to drop. So they were already second guessing that guess. And then it did happen. And I really enjoyed that too. And then obviously I did enjoy that it was one of the granny's friends. Because I did not like that man. Neither did her sister. And oh boy, she was right. I did like how the sister went full on inspection mode when they were young. Because her gut feeling was out. Which was like, yeah, no. I don't trust this man. I don't want to get my baby sister get her. I really enjoyed that she went full on sleuthing mode. Then I could definitely understand the desperate feeling that, that man is now back. So I really enjoyed that. It took a minute to build it. Yeah. Yeah, but I think that worked. And I really like the Ian and Lucy talking about it, and then Ian reminding her that she is not a professional sleuth, or she's, saying something like, you're not really a professional sleuth, and she's like, well, I'm getting pretty good at sleuthing, I find myself. And that was just also really funny to me. Let me see. Have you guys something else to say? No. All right. So 4 of you voted. 4 of you said yes to continuing this series, which means that in January and February we will be reading the 3rd and the 4th book, which is kind of unfortunate because one of them is a Christmas book. But yeah, that's kind of because November or January should be the Prince of Mischief book club. So if you have ideas about that, you can drop them in the Discord if you want to, and we can see what we can do about it. Because I have to film the announcement for the Stich Witches as well as the Prince of Mischief book club for next year in the next couple of days. And then they will come out at the end of next week and the beginning of the week after that. But we will continue with this. We have already photoed for the projects. I just have to find the patterns. And that is what you're gonna get in the video. But since there is a Christmas book in there, I could understand if you guys want to do it in January, so you can maybe read it now still. So let me know in the Discord. Lucy's like, please, you don't know how much knowledge I have access to. Yeah, like I have a system. But I think with that, it is time to go to spoilers, but for the 3rd book. So, if you have not read the 3rd book fully, we are now going into mostly plot spoilers, so it will be spoiled for you. We will talk about who died, when they died, how they died, and who did it. So, maybe leave us now. If you still want to finish this book, you're obviously welcome to come back later on. Still share your ideas and thoughts with us in the comments or on the Discord. But yeah. I usually put 3 up. yeah, but I would have liked to read them now. But if I read it now, I am not able to do a live show in February. And it kind of means I have to throw everything around again. And then we still need to vote for the live show for the biggest Christmas secret ever, which is going for a poll on the Discord after this live show. We're doing the Alice with a Y live show in the beginning of January. And then then I should also plan the Stichwitch live show in January too. And then Pins of Mischief has to go to February. Like, I have to put stuff around for it, which is doable probably. But it makes my, makes me need to use my head, so I'm only doing it if you guys want to. I'm going to get the Pinch of Mystery book for real next year. I think I only made one live. But just, if you can't, you can't. Life happens. I will never hold it against you. It's just that we chose really fun books, so you might have liked it. Yeah. The votes are all done, so it should be easy. I just have to find out the schedule. And then find patterns for the projects. Make the 2 clubs work together. Basically. Read all the books in the same week, have one live show to discuss them all and embrace the chaos. Yeah, that would be absolute chaos. I don't know, Kate. I think then you're literally getting a review of all the 4 books. Do you remember the vampire with the Christmas magic that went all over it? Like in Wonderland when they had to... That is what you're gonna get. That would be terrible. We might have to do 1 day of live shows. Like 7 is gonna be Alice with a Y. 8 is gonna be the biggest Christmas secret ever. At 9, we're gonna discuss the 2 other vampire knitting books. Oh, that would be a thing. Come in! You are so brave. You guys are all so brave. That is so extremely funny to me. I'm sorry. You guys are very brave. The chaos it would cause. But this is the final reminder. We are going to spoil book 3. If you have not finished Crocheting Cauldrons, please leave now because I am going to spoil it for you. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you later. It would cause so much chaos, but not as much as, a dude trapping witches in mirrors and killing them. But it was such a good plot. I really enjoyed that plot. I found it so creative, bringing in the Egypt vibes with the parents, and then the whole reason to bring the witches in. Like, it was such a good tie-up of the familiar bonds that were still unexplored, as well as the witches that we didn't get as much of yet. And then put them all in one big cursed mirror. I'm a big fan. I enjoyed it so much. I enjoyed that it was mostly in the knitting show, but also Mom and Dad were present. And how they interacted with each other, and then Mom not fully remembering, and then Lucy needing information that her parents had because they were the Egypt experts, and then still trying to get it through Ray first because, you never know what he knows or who he knows. So yeah, I really enjoyed that plot. I really liked the ancient Egypt angle, and I really enjoyed that actually 2 of the students were wizards. And they would have, they had to deal with this wizard killing witches, or this entity, or I don't know exactly what it was in the end, if I'm honest. But they were secretly hunting that. That was very interesting to me. I really enjoyed that angle. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. That's kind of how books live in my head anyway. Yeah. Like, it's gonna be such a mess. I am a mess, but that will make it even worse. I did enjoy that the one. I was very upset that it was only a tiny bit. Like, I immediately knew it was the new assistant who done it. Obviously, it had to be the lovely older lady. So that was no surprise. And that she could crochet, that I thought it was fun. I was really hoping that she would learn it to Lucy, which was unfortunate that she didn't. But I really enjoyed that she made voodoo dolls. And that was the crochet part that I really enjoyed. I just wanted more of the crochet, or like she learning it to Lucy so that the crochet could continue after this. Now Lucy is kind of traumatized by crochet, so I don't think she's gonna pick up crocheting. Because, her mom lost her feet because of it. That was a very, very powerful voodoo doll, and I really appreciated it. As soon as she heard the shit out loud, I was like, oh no. Yeah, exactly. Please read it out loud. And I was like, please don't. Just, no. As a witch, you should know, do not do this. Like, you should not. You should have, we could have known. Like, this was very unnecessary because, it was very, very clear that was going to cause troubles. I love that Nyx was an absolute demon for the witch team. Yes. First of all, I was extremely angry with that lady for stealing a cat. I was extremely angry with Grey for just accepting it and removing Lucy from that situation. I would have, no. And I immediately thought, well, Lucy's such a powerful witch, isn't she? Let her have it. Let her fight that woman. I want her to fight for Nyx. Like, what is the cat thinking now? Seeing, Lucy walking away. I was so upset. But I was like, well, in that case, Nyx has to escape. Obviously, because she's a very smart cat. But I really enjoyed that she was a menace about it. But also, it turned out that she was a very, very powerful familiar. And she kind of, Magic, the so well-known healer who could not heal her own wounds now. That was very funny to me. And then the lady having to admit that, she wasn't as powerful as the familiar. That was really funny to me. You should not have messed with powers you cannot handle. I think at that point, everyone was rooting for Nyx. Yeah. No, yeah. You do not do this. No. I just didn't, I could not get that you could accept that and walk away. Like, no, that this doesn't work for me. But otherwise, I've really enjoyed it. I also appreciate a decent explanation for why Lucy is extra powerful. I really, really enjoyed it. And I really like that now Mom has been in this position. And, her feet were removed by voodoo dolls that were crocheted. She doesn't really have the option anymore to say, yeah, it's not true. So I'm very pleased that it wasn't like, oh, I forgot everything and Mom still doesn't believe in witches anymore. So I really do appreciate that Mom now has to reconcile with her own power and is willing to do that. That I really enjoyed that. And I really like that in the end, the evil, very powerful witch kind of becomes friends with Lucy, and they're like, I expect you to be there in Samhain. And I was like, so you're in the same coven as the cousin and stuff? Like, alright. What is the story there? There has to be something there. And then, Lucy actually considering it now. And then Mom asking if she could come too. That was really, I think that is, yeah, I really enjoyed that part. I love the part with the vampires keeping yes, that is what I almost said accidentally on the book 2 spoiler, but I love this so much. The vampires taking turns even during the day, and then not leaving her out of her sight at all. Posting a Susan asking for the most long-minded questions to keep I think it was Mary. Yeah, the cute little old lady. I especially like this part where, Silence decided that she would come, and all the vampires were like, I'm so sorry, but you know how she is, we could not stop her, I'm so sorry. That was really funny to me. Making puppets for the grandchildren. Sure. Well, that's what I'm gonna do, Jen. Well, plushies is one of the projects. And it's gonna either be the next project or the day of the project after. I'm not sure if it's gonna be back or plushies first. So yeah. I might pick voodoo dolls now. Because I feel it's very appropriate. Also, one of the vampires a little too weird and had to run away. Well, I know that the Silence is booted out of the store by Rave because she was too much. So, and then there was the accident with them on the street, but it wasn't Silence, it was the two male vampires. Other than Rave. But they came back later on when it was needed. I did kind of like how he immediately said, well, come back for her, don't worry. Yeah, but like, how can you say don't worry? They stole my cat. She's gonna pay right now. I am worried. And I'm also very angry. Like, don't tell me not to be, because I am. You're not making it better. Like magical allergic reactions, scratches. Yeah. Yeah, I really enjoyed that part. I love that Nick scratches the shit out of her face. But also they were magical scratches. So she could not heal them. She wasn't powerful enough to heal Nick's scratches. Because she put something in it. She put her magic in it. And that's why they festered so much. And then it was really funny to me because she is such a well-known... She is known for her healing property. Like, that was her specialization in magic. Healing. She gives talks to all the covens about healing magic. And then, Nick comes along and like, heal this bitch. And then Lucy has to heal it, which never done it before. So that was very funny. It was also very convenient, but also funny. I think that is what's gonna happen. I think the next book will be the Samhain one. And then after that is gonna be the Christmas one. Because that's kind of how timeline works, right? I would love to see the coven. I would love to know the story of the coven. And I would like to know why Nyx is as powerful, because Lucy got an explanation now and it makes absolute sense. But Nyx I'm curious about, because the powerful witch did say that she probably knew Nick's mom. So what's the story there? Because there's about to get one, right? There has to be a story. No, the fort is already the Christmas one, because it's called Stocking and Spells. Protagonist Lucy Swift and her undead knitting club neighbors investigate a murder at Oxford's holiday market, involving a strangled clerk. So are we skipping the Samhain thing? In a vampire knitting club. You cannot skip Halloween. Right? Stocking and Spells. That's the title of the fourth book. So that has to be the Christmas. It's in the Christmas market. And 5 is Pearls and Poisons. And that is inspired by Shakespeare's A Midnight Summer Dream. But that doesn't say anything about the holiday. So the fourth book is immediately the Christmas book. Which is a bit weird. Time to find out more about the magic. Yeah, I hope. But if it's going to be in the Christmas market, if we even get it, it's going to be flown over, I feel like. Yeah, she can be solitary practicing witch if you want, but at least go see them. Yeah, but now she kind of is in... Well, you said something about it, right? Now you're hidden from the coven, but then you're not anymore. So, and that kind of felt like a threat, but also like you cannot... It felt like he was saying you cannot not go to the coven anymore then because you're not protected anymore. Something like that. I could see Ozzy doing that if someone stole him. Yeah, and fair enough though. Fair enough. He lets me hug him, but pushes Jack away like, no, you're not mine. No. There's only one. And we can see Nyx interact with other familiars. Oh, that would be so cool. I really hope that happens. Someone has a crow. Yes, I would hope to. And then please turn them in a villain. Give one good person a crow and one villain a crow. Yeah, that is the fifth book. The fifth book though, so. Not immediately this one. What fools these mortals be, right? Yeah, so I really enjoyed this book. I really enjoyed the crocheting golems. And the Curse Mirror was really fun. But I do hope we get the Samhain bit, but if it's so focused on the Christmas market, it's kind of late. We'll see. But I think that's all for me. Like, they're short books. So there is obviously not as much to talk about if it was a 500-page book. That on the red in my will this author hit. Yeah, I think a lot. Because that is what I think in a cozy mystery, the chances are so much higher. And I think that is why the Vampire Knitting Club is so popular, because she hits a load of interest from people in, this kind of communities that, cozy people. Because it looks like that the sixth book is in a carnival, which I really enjoy. Oh, there's a fortune teller. Bingo. Like it. Already love it. Diamond and Daggers. Oh, that's 11. That's not 7. Lace and Lies. the seventh book is about a televised knitting class in the Live Yarn Shop. So yeah, I think it's just gonna be loads of fun. I'm glad that she's free, but yeah, I really enjoyed that they freed her and that they're now calling. I love that Rafe did ask, like, can we call you Mary now, because it sounds more modern and it helps you get more in the community. And then I really like that. Like, yeah, I've always been a servant, and they were all like, how are we gonna tell her that slavery is no longer a thing? And she was like, how am I gonna do this? And then the vampire bluntly said it. Nope, that's not how it works. We kind of been done with that. Thank you. Even though everyone was telling her she probably wouldn't be able to. Yeah, it's not. I don't know if that is what they told her, but that's what she gartered, because she has so many people seen trying to destroy the wizard or the mirror, and they didn't succeed. But then she also said that she could not talk to any other person than Lucy. Lucy was the only one who could see her, so she hasn't been talking to these persons. But it's just, they failed every single time. Like, obviously she was already surprised that she was still alive at day 2. That was also very funny to me. Oh, you're still alive! Fingers crossed for tarot cards with the fortune teller. Oh, I do so hope so. That is what I assume. And I think we cannot trust Nancy with that, right? She's doing knitting. She has thrown a bit of crocheting. She has a tea shop in there. There's going to be Christmas market in there. There's Egypt in there. I think she gets a lot of... She knows this is very well known in the bookish community and obviously in the knitting and crochet community. So I feel like if you're going to do that, tarot cards is a must, and she knows it. I think both for the bookish community and the cozy community, that is a necessity. So I feel like that's it. We have to get it. But I think that's it for tonight. Thank you all so much for being here. I really enjoyed reading this with you. I am also really enjoying making the project with you. I have put it on hold for now just so I could knit on my gift knits. And now I'm trying to still get some Christmas knitting in for me. My sweater's not gonna... I think I'm just gonna frog it from last year and then redo it next year, or maybe in January or something. I don't know. Maybe I hope I can do it halfway Christmas. Start it at least. But I would like to knit a bit on the blanket, maybe. But after Christmas, I'm picking up the scarf, the hooded scarf back up. Because I am excited about it. It's just this month is, very busy. Can't believe she wrote a whole series about a yarn shop and doesn't knit or crochet. Yeah. Terrible. It's very funny. She did try, but she is as bad at learning it as Lucy. She says she has a Facebook page, and that's how I know that information. So that is super funny. Thank you for hosting as always. No problem, Kay. Thank you all so much for being here, and I will see you in the next one. I need to learn how to cast off, or Jack's going to get a mile-long scarf. Would you what? Do you want me to show you now? Yeah, just like Lucy. That's what she said that literally. I need to learn how to. Yeah, I can show you now if you want to. Yeah, that's. Maybe we should have done 3 months with all the gift things, but you got this. I have finished a pair of socks while sitting to the person and eating dinner that we're gonna give them. So It's gonna be fine. For hosting, thank you for finding the series too. I've never heard of it. Yeah, it's because of a crochet. It's from Oddnot that I've heard of it. That's okay. I'll find a video on YouTube when I have the time. All right. If not, ask on the Discord, right? And I will make a video for you. That's absolutely fine. Bye, everyone. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one.